Welcome to the Tuttle and Klein Show.
Curious as to what song we're going to get this week.
I see a little silhouette of a man. Terabouche, Terabouche, will you do the fandango? Thunderbolts and lightning, very, very frightening. Galileo, Galileo Figaro.
It's as if Freddie Mercury is still with us.
No, I'm glad he's not, so he didn't have to hear that shit.
Dude, you've got a great looking head of hockey hair going on there, buddy.
You like it?
I do. I like that.
Yeah, man. I'm just going to go for the all-time record that I've ever had.
For length?
Yeah, eventually I'll cut it, but just like one more time before I have my permanent senior citizens cut.
How long does it have to be to set a record for you?
It's getting there.
Really?
It's getting there.
What are you doing to make it longer?
Nothing.
Well, isn't there like a brushing technique, or isn't there like mane and tail shampoo that helps grow it longer faster?
Son, I'm a fucking alpha male, okay? I don't have time for that shit.
Okay.
I mean, that just sounds like a lot more work than I'm willing to put in on this endeavor. I'm here for the growing part. I'm just going to grow.
Yeah, but remember when you grew your beard? I mean, you had Brusho out 1,000 times a day.
Oh yeah.
Well, what's the difference?
I don't know. I don't want to pull it all out.
I hear you. Yeah, dude. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm pretty thin on the top there, man.
It happens to the best of us, Kev.
Even the worst of us.
And I actually had somebody ask me this: are you growing your hair out? Or are you worried about hair loss? No, this is not hair loss. I don't have hair loss.
No, you don't. You've always, even your dad had a full head of hair.
Yeah, I don't. I just want to like grow. I'm a rocker. I like the rock look.
Yeah.
I like the Paul McCartney late '60s last record. Let It Be.
Mm-hmm.
That look with the beard and the long hair, and then when he was early Wings and he had the long hair, and I like that look. That's the look I like.
Some people can pull it off. Some people can't. You're one that can.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with it until the ladies that I'm interested in fucking won't fuck me anymore.
Okay.
But they like it.
Yeah, seems to be working, right?
And I know a lot of people. What do you mean they? I am not in a serious relationship with anyone. I see a couple, maybe 3 different people, and they all know about it. None of us want a relationship. None of us want anything serious, except for the 2 who are in a relationship, the 2 ladies who are in a relationship with each other. And
Timmy has found utopia.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
How are your friends? You never talk about them with me anymore.
Oh, I don't. They're good. I mean, I don't see them as much.
Okay.
Because they moved, but still every so I found myself in the situation where I'm the designated dick. For those unaware,
wasn't that your role on the radio too?
Good one.
Now you're talking anatomy. I get it.
Good one. Nice one. Klein line of the day right out of the box. We'll shut down this podcast right now. See ya. I'll run that one as a promo every day next week.
See, but you know what? Seriously, that's the beautiful thing about our friendship and our relationship is that we can say that to each other and not get offended and not get butthurt.
No, plus it's accurate. I was paid to be a dick.
That was his role.
That was what I was supposed to be. That's what. All of them, all the consultants, and you got to push the limit here, man. You got to, people whispering on the side to me, and hey, make sure you get Erica's dander up. That's key. Make her mad. Piss her off.
They would say that. Yeah, they would say that.
They would tell me that. They said that's when when that's happening, it's good radio. It's really good radio. So that was my job.
Yeah. That was his role. That was his job. Yeah.
So I was a paid dick.
So going back to being the DD.
Yeah. I'm just, they are a lesbian couple.
Okay.
Very attractive. You've seen pictures of them, Kev.
Yeah. The one is really likes me because she feels sorry for me.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, she thinks he's so innocent and sweet and everything like that. I'm like, God, dude, there's some stories. I'm not gonna ruin your vision of him, but I could tell you some stories.
Oh, ruin it.
Uh but yeah, they are together and they're very happy.
Yeah.
They have a very good life together and everything like that. But just every so often, they need the male anatomy.
Mm-hmm.
So
Plastic doesn't help.
that's where I come in.
Yeah.
And once every 2-3 weeks or so, they'll get that little that burning, that itch, and I'll get a text message.
I mean, do you really want to call it a burning and an itch when you're talking about that?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Yeah, they could get it.
They get the fire down below, as
There you
Leonard
go.
Skinner said.
There you go. Yeah.
So that's it. I don't. Gosh, I probably should not have revealed that, but they don't care about it. It's just maybe some of our more Puritan listeners will be like, "What the fuck?" But then again, those people are long gone.
I was going to say, if they're sticking around with us, they're doing it just to be offended.
Yeah, you want to be offended. You're still here watching or listening to the Tuttle and Klein podcast. You want to be mad.
That's right.
You want to be angry. You want somebody to take your day out on. That's fine. We'll take it. We don't give a fuck. Because remember, those who love us listen to us this long. Those that hate us listen to us this long.
Twice as long.
Twice as long. Yeah. Thank you for the description for the podcast only, Kev.
Yeah.
Hey, did you get the picture?
I was just going to bring that up. I got the picture.
Isn't that crazy? Kevin and I used to have a saying because, Kevin and I were, Forrest Gumps in the radio industry for a quarter of a century where, it's not every day you get to meet a legend, but every so often we did.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we did.
And we had our share of legends. I mean, you get Kenny Rogers coming in, you get Dan Aykroyd coming in, you get Norm Macdonald coming in, you get these legendary people, Don King and
Costner.
Kevin. God, is that so strange going to Costner's hotel?
Yeah.
In Houston and just hanging out with Kevin Costner like it's nothing.
It was amazing.
And Nick Cage breaking to us about how he proposed to Arquette.
Yeah. Yep.
And just, surreal. But, it happened every so often. And yesterday, my daughter, got to hang out and meet and talk with a legend. You saw it on the picture right here. We'll put it right here. This is her. She is on a Skype call with Billie Jean King.
Global icon.
A badass, quote unquote. If you don't believe me, ask Audrey. Ask Audrey's mom, who was in the background just going, wow, this is cool. And ask Bobby Riggs. They'll tell you what a badass she is.
Exactly. Yeah. So if you're not familiar with Billie Jean King, she won the Battle of the Sexes. There was she's a former professional tennis player. And there was a male player named Bobby Riggs who said, there's no way a woman can beat a man in tennis. Billie Jean King said, bullshit. So they played and she beat him.
I'm pretty sure it was the Astrodome. Kevin will have a little notation right here confirming it or, correcting it.
Yeah, no, I think you're right.
Yeah, and it was like huge crowd, and it was one of the most watched on TV. It's still the most, and I believe this is correct too. And again, Kev, I'm sorry to make you do this work, but I believe it is still to this day the most watched tennis match, even more than Bjorg McEnroe 1981 Wimbledon.
Wow. On TV. Obviously, with it being in the Astrodome, it would have been the largest attended because there's no tennis stadium in the world that could hold that.
And do not the pre-match hype and all that bullshit. Do not buy any of it. They love each other because they both made millions over the years and in the aftermath because of that moment.
Absolutely.
That was a huge, huge thing. A lot of people get all upset about Bobby Riggs, talking that chauvinistic shit. Billie Jean King has no problems with the late tennis player Bobby Riggs.
He got his comeuppance. He lost.
He got smoked.
Yeah. So there you go.
But I thought that was cool. She got to Audrey is the marketing director and public relations director for the Austin League One volleyball, and just an unbelievable on fire league. Kev, they're selling out all over the place. ESPN carrying them. ESPN going to carry their championship and their classic tournament. They're doing so well, and Billie Jean King is one of the executives over the whole league.
I was going to ask what her affiliation is with the league. I figured that it had something to do with the volleyball.
She's a big gun. There's a lot of money tied up into this. A lot of professional athletes, a lot of celebrities have plunked millions and millions of dollars into it. And she just, she wants to make sure it's in the right direction, sending the right messages. And she's just the person for that.
Absolutely. What a great ambassador she is for all sport. But if she's financially involved, she's going to rock that thing.
But here's my daughter is in a on screen with her, talking with her, and I just think that's a really neat thing. That's just a proud dad moment. I'm sorry if that annoys anybody.
I'm sure Audrey did her homework, but did she really understand the magnitude of who she was talking with?
Audrey always does her homework.
Oh, I know she does. Yeah.
So if she didn't, prior to, in the days prior to, when she did her research, she found out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though, Audrey is, Gen Z, born in 2001, has probably, you can count on one hand how many Gen Zs know Billie Jean King. Audrey is one of the 5.
Yeah, that's super cool, man. I saw that picture this morning and I'm like, holy smokes, that's awesome.
Yeah, big time. Yeah. So that was cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Did she give you any feedback? Was the conversation good? Was it warm? Was Billie Jean King
just badass? Just like control of the situation. I mean, she's in charge.
Yeah,
she knows her shit, and there is no older lady losing the memory, dementia shit happening with Billie Jean King. She is a badass, sound business minded person.
Awesome. So, but I'm sure she was very kind to speak with to Audrey.
Oh yeah, of course. They're all in it together. They all love the progress that this league has made over the past 3 weeks. It's amazing what they've done and what they've accomplished ahead of all projections. So
it's smart what this league did. They went to cities where volleyball is massive, either in a youth situation or in a collegiate situation. They got built-in audiences. They did it right.
Well, not only that, Kev, they have the soccer model. The football model is it's a club situation. They own the clubs now too. Like Houston Skyline, that's owned by Love Volleyball.
Nice.
So they bought the clubs, so they have the system generation, not only for audience, because those kids are like, I'm going to go watch. These are our pros. These are our team. So that helps fill the stands, but also in matriculating talent up through the pipeline.
It's exactly what Sporting KC, the soccer team in Kansas City, does. Every single kid that plays youth soccer in Kansas City is wearing a Sporting KC shirt, and then the team that they're representing is on the back. It's brilliant.
And their parents, parents are wearing it too. So it's an automatic built-in audience. It was done brilliantly.
Yeah. Yep.
I got to give them credit. They did it different than. And then there's a couple of volleyball leagues that are trying to make their way, which I think eventually League One volleyball will end up purchasing all of them. Mm-hmm. They'll all fold into them in a couple of years because of their model's just too good and they have just too much money behind them.
Are the uniforms cool?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the only thing, and I hesitate to say this, but the only thing that I think that could cause them some issues is if the WNBA's gets jealous.
What would that, you think they'd come after them?
Yeah, they would just they would go to their woke partners, the ESPN, and it would be like, hey, we've been around a long time and everything like that. I don't know. I guess I'm paranoid about geopolitical bullshit that goes on, but that's the only thing I can see is maybe the WNBA getting a little bit too jealous at their growth and their rise, which they outside of the Caitlyn thing, they're drawing bigger crowds, man.
Oh, the volleyball's drawing bigger crowds. Oh
yeah, they're selling out.
Well, I don't doubt that, and the reason I don't doubt that is because it's on a professional level in America, it's a new sport. And
not only that, it's very fast and very athletic.
Dude, if you go to a college volleyball game, they hit the crap out of that ball.
Those and the way they move. I mean, that's the thing that I love the most about volleyball, particularly when Audrey was rising up in age and talent pool, is the way they move. I mean, it's artistic.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, it's so systematic. I mean, you can just see the patterns of what needs to be done, and it's really a neat game to watch. To me, in my opinion, I'm a basketball guy. It is much easier to watch than basketball.
Sure. Yeah. Constant action.
So anyway, I hope I'm wrong, and maybe that's just I'm the old guy going, God damn it, you just know some bullshit's gonna happen. Kev, this was actually, you know what I want you to do right now is because I outside of football, Kev, I know nothing going on in the world. Can you, since I'm completely off the grid, Kevin every week, lets me know the shit that maybe I should know about. What's going on in the world right now?
Well, we started the deportations of the undocumented immigrants in America, and so we sent 2 planes over to Colombia with their people, and Colombia did not accept the planes. You know about this, right?
No. No,
Oh,
I heard something about them rejecting it, but you can't. I mean, we're America. Fuck you.
Yeah,
I
well,
mean, and we don't have a pussy president that's going to look the other. Oh, okay. They said no. Bring them back. No, we don't have that happening.
Yeah, no, they rejected it and said, we're not going to do that. And so Trump said, well, we're going to sanction the shit out of you. And they said, whoa, wait a minute, hold on a second there. Let us send a couple planes over and just grab them from you. So they threatened sanctions on us, but I believe that they did send planes, and now their undocumented immigrants are back in Colombia.
Now my question is, and I stay off of it. I just don't want to get involved. I hate social media. I hate propaganda. But I'd imagine that that the progressive communist left is just up in arms about this and are flipping out, aren't they?
The questions that I've seen from reporters are where does this end? Okay, right now you say you're going after the hardened criminals, but you haven't really set any parameters as to where this ends, where you're going to stop. And
they're not going to go after mom and pop and with 3 kids. They're not going to do that. They're just getting rid of the MS-13. The gangbangers. I mean, Kev, during the Biden administration, these countries emptied their prisons.
I've heard that.
Emptied their prisons and marched them over here. They're taking over apartment complexes in Colorado and shit like that. They're fucking they're eating animals. They're rapists. They're thugs. I mean, that's who he's going after. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about the people who have a dream of freedom and come here and work hard and do a good job and take care of business. And that's not what it's about. And anybody that tells you otherwise is a propagandist. It's fucking bullshit.
About this what happened on the stock market on Monday of this past week. It took a massive hit, and Nvidia, the largest single loss in for a company in Dow Jones Industrial Average history. They lost $300 billion on Monday. And you know why they lost $300 billion on Monday? Because China unveiled DeepSeek.
And I heard the DeepSeek, they got all the technology from NVIDIA's engineers' TikTok.
There you go. Yeah. So no, what DeepSeek is China's AI program, and they say that they can do it for cheaper, and they can do it with less carbon footprint. Imagine that, China saying they can do it with less carbon footprint than Nvidia, and so a lot of people started investing.
I've heard that there's some issues though with the technology and the computing power, and not only that, Kev, it is heavily censored. Communists, they censor everything.
Yeah.
So like even more than our own tech control freaks who like to censor shit, and one day we'll probably have to pay a price for that, either in civil or criminal court. But yeah, I think yesterday was a great buying opportunity for NVIDIA. That was a shot at buying them low.
Yeah, a lot of people saw it that way too.
Absolutely.
That's why things are back up today.
Yeah. As soon as you woke up yesterday and you saw that shit tanking, put a buy order in for 100 shares, 200 shares, whatever, and watch it rise now. Because you can't have a censorship product and it be a winner. It can't be a censored product.
Guess who sold most of her Nvidia on Thursday of last week?
Who?
Nancy Pelosi.
Well, of course. Of course, the greatest stock trader in history. Yeah, her performance is better than Warren Buffett, Carl Icahn. She's better than Jesse Livermore, the 20th century, turn of the 20th century. The guy who had, 20, 30, 40, $50 million back in 1920.
Damn, that's a lot of money then.
Yeah, she is a higher performer than any other stock trader in history, the greatest ever.
How is that?
Because she's a fucking criminal. I'm sorry. You can say what you want. That's criminal. That's insider trading. Anybody else outside of somebody from Congress goes to prison for what she does. And that is a huge issue. And that let them eat cake attitude from Congress is going to cost them big someday.
Trish and I are watching Lioness now. Do you know what Lioness?
No, what is that?
It's a program on Paramount Plus, and it's written and directed by Taylor Sheridan, man, just making money hand over fist.
I watched Landman.
It's awesome, isn't it?
Fucking great show.
Yeah, man. Billy Bob's amazing, isn't he?
Billy Bob is great. Ali Larder still looks fantastic.
Oh, my God, dude. Gorgeous.
She looks great.
We talked to her. We interviewed her.
Yeah, we had a chat with Ali Larder one time. That was great.
Yeah. Yeah, Landman's amazing. You would like Lioness, and I'll tell you why you would like it, because it is absolutely riveting programming. Okay, the storylines are great, but watch it and tell me how much of it is real and how much of it is manufactured. It's about the CIA, okay? And it's about the Lioness program is they get a female soldier and they embed her into the organization that they're trying to infiltrate or eradicate. And man, the behind the scenes shit that goes on in the White House in this program, I don't know how much of it's real, how much of it's, Hollywood, but it is quite eye-opening.
Well, if it's criminal, corrupt, and unconstitutional, it is probably very accurate.
I don't think they're not really getting into that. I mean, there is a weird dynamic and relationship between Nicole Kidman and her husband, because she is one of the deputy directors of the CIA, and she's the head of the Lioness program, and her husband trades stocks and oil futures and all this kind of stuff. And he tells her what to do, and she tells him what to do. It's really a weird dynamic.
Yeah, that's okay. So it's Nicole Kidman?
Yeah, Nicole Kidman, Zoe Saldana, and Morgan Freeman.
Oh, nice. Okay, so is that on Paramount Plus?
Yes, it is. It's 3 seasons, I think. Now we're on season 2. Gotta
give Paramount Plus credit. They're coming up with some programming, man.
Yeah, it's Taylor Sheridan's channel.
That guy's got some great ideas.
He does. Yeah, he's got amazing ideas.
I mean, and he's hit the vein, and obviously he gets experts in oil and experts in the CIA and experts in serial killer, track down with Dexter. I mean, he gets the experts and just, throws ideas and say, okay, you guys fill it in.
Totally.
I love that. That's fantastic. What else is going on in the world, Kev? What am I missing?
Well, in kind of lesser important news, did you know that Mount Everest is no longer the highest mountain in the world?
Shut up.
I know. Yeah, I didn't know mountains grew, but apparently, no. There are what they are now calling hidden mountains in the ocean that are 600. What they say, 600 meters taller than Everest.
Isn't the Mariana Trench? Isn't there one that starts down? Actually, it goes down 35,000 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah. The deepest part of the ocean goes down 35,000 feet, the Mariana Trench.
Right. Yeah. Nobody could survive down there. Just the pressure would be immense. You couldn't do it.
James Cameron went down there, though.
He had a special vehicle.
Yeah. He was, I mean, how crazy is that?
Yeah, really.
I mean, you figured he'd have somebody around him going, "Hey, James, we got a couple more Avatar movies we want to do, and we got some
Yeah.
projects going on. We really need you around. Are you sure? I mean, Mariana Trench, we could send your brother Bill."
Yeah, not as valuable. Yeah.
Yeah. Kev, I got to tell you this. I knew the Bills were in trouble when Josh Allen, immediately after the national anthem, he put on his coat and sat down and had a weird look on his face instead of, getting loose and warming up, because they had first possession.
Right. They did. Yeah.
He just sat on he had the wide eyes. He had the Tony Romo wide eyes, pressure situation.
Yeah.
And I just knew they were going to be in trouble. And you remember that first possession, he almost threw 2 interceptions.
Almost threw 2 picks. Yeah. Yeah. I remember.
I'm just thinking, man, if the B-2 stealth bomber, a flyover to start the AFC motherfucking championship doesn't get you jacked up, I don't know what will.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And it turned out to be, I mean, obviously the refs stepped in to make sure that their Chiefs, and Tay got to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you can't dispute that, and the reason you can't dispute that is because, and you take away the controversial 4th down stoppage. Okay, don't even worry about that. All right, that's not it. It's a non-factor because the call that decided this game was the Xavier Worthy catch that was not even a catch.
No,
it was at best it was an incompletion because it hit the ground. It should have been an interception. More than it should have been a Worthy catch. Worthy had no possession of that whatsoever.
It was incomplete.
It was an incomplete pass.
It was an incomplete pass, and you're right. If you have to give possession to somebody, that's an interception, and that's ridiculous.
And what happened? What happened after that was Patrick Mahomes scampers 10 yards for a touchdown, put him up 21-10.
And Kev, I got to tell you this. I put a little bit of blame on the Bills. I mean, that going in that it's you versus Kansas City and the refs. That going in. So, like the 4th down call on, start the 4th quarter, the big controversial one. I mean, against the Chiefs, you have to get 11 yards. You can't rely on 10 yards. Okay? To get a first down. You got to get 11 yards because they are obviously, anybody that knows football can see with their own eyes that the shit that happened to Seattle during the 2006 Super Bowl versus Pittsburgh and the shit that happened to the Green Bay Packers against the Denver Broncos in the 1998 Super Bowl is happening again. It's manifesting itself again. So you've got to leave no space whatsoever. You got to get 11 yards. You've got to punch Kansas City in the face. Otherwise, the NFL is going to get their dream scenario of their Chiefs with Taylor Swift in the Super Bowl.
Well, here's the thing about that call, okay? The 4th and 1 where Kansas City stopped Josh Allen on what they call the tush push. Here's the thing, okay? The only angle that they showed on the replay was the angle where the judge had him behind the line.
Yeah.
The reason why that is a controversial angle is because Chris Jones blocked the view of that referee. Had they gone to the other side, that referee had him passing the mark of a first down. They never showed that angle.
Nope.
Never showed that angle.
And that's how it's rigged. When CBS is involved in making sure that the takedown, and they do, the media will, if you're a powerful source and you have an agenda, the media will go right along. They love to. So you didn't see the right thing. You didn't see the right angle on the instant replay.
So,
but again, some of the blame is on the Bills. You have to beat them solidly. They did the tush push way too many times.
Well, and he always goes left. I mean, he never goes right. Allen always goes left. And so, it's one of the easier tush pushes to defend.
Anybody can pick that up on film.
Of course they do.
You've got to vary it up. The tush push is very effective if there's a possible threat of another play. If he just does a bootleg, rolls out, hits a tight end, or runs it in himself. You have to have that option.
Let me ask you this, because now, it was the Bills and the Chiefs that altered the overtime rules. It was after that championship game that they altered they changed
2022.
The overtime rules. Now, do you think that because of the controversy with that 4th and 1 call, we will see a computer chip put into the football? The technology's there. Come on, man.
Oh, totally.
They have it in hockey. They have it in baseball. They have it in
Totally.
basketball.
Absolutely. What they'll do is they'll put a computer chip in the football, and if it'll tell exactly upstairs how far that ball went before the knee went down.
Yeah.
They have to. I mean, unless you want to be able to. The only reason it wouldn't be instituted and implemented, Kev, is if you want to be able to have the opportunity to rig it.
Let me ask you this, because you like the action and DraftKings and I can't remember the other gambling site. They sponsor the NFL now. Mm-hmm. Isn't that a massive conflict of interest?
Huge.
Okay. All right. I'm not alone in my thought process.
Huge. Oh, it's huge. It's everything that is a nightmare to anybody that's a purist.
Okay.
I have no problems with people being, gambling on games. The leagues should have nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Just like if you are a network that has news, you should not be able to, it should be against the law for you to accept prescription drug advertising money. So okay. you can actually tell the truth about it instead of being like, well, we don't want to lose Pfizer $74 million a year. We're not going to report what these COVID shots are really doing to people, which had happened. It confirmed. But yeah, Kev, that I hope that something's done, but I would not bet the farm, pardon the pun, on it happening. I will say this though, I got to give Josh Allen credit.
Okay.
With all of the shit against him, the world against him, the refs against him, he's at Kansas City. He gave his team a shot at going into overtime. Dalton Kincaid should have. I mean, how he even got that pass on the kitchen sink blitz.
Yeah.
The kitchen sink blitz, their last play.
Yeah. Oh, no, I know.
I cannot recall seeing more bodies come in more quickly on a pass rush in my lifetime than what happened on that play. And that motherfucker, Josh Allen, still got a pass off where his guy put two hands on the ball and could have caught it right there to kick a field goal to send it to overtime.
I got to give catchable ball.
Oh, very catch. It should have been caught. Fred Tuttle, my dad taught me, if you can touch it, you can catch it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any ball that's thrown to you, if you can touch it, you can catch it. And that should have been caught. And Dalton Kincaid, to me, he probably still has not gotten any sleep since Sunday night. He probably has no sleep. And he shouldn't for a while because that was on him.
Yeah.
All he had to do, I mean, you got one fucking job. You're a tight end. What's your job, Kev? Outside of blocking, but once you go past, 5-6 yards, what's your job?
Catch the ball.
Catch the fucking ball.
Well, I thought it was very classy of Josh Allen and some of the Bills to say, look, that's not on Dalton Kincaid. That's on us for a couple of different plays throughout the game. I mean, obviously that's what they're going to say because you got to have your teammates back. But I thought it was pretty classy of them.
And I just say this right now, Kev, the big debate for MVP has been between what two players?
Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen.
I have got to disagree wholeheartedly. I would throw my vote. Congratulations to the Kansas City refs. Truly the most valuable players in the NFL. I mean, it's hard to beat that, man. I mean, that's they wow. I mean, that's you get Kev. If you get a whistle, you can change a lot of things.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
So salute to them for that.
What I don't like about, obviously, I don't like that the games seemingly are being decided by the stripes, but it does take away from the great game that Patrick Mahomes did have.
Oh, he played again, and this is the saddest thing, Kev. I myself, and I think a lot of people feel the same way. We like Patrick Mahomes.
He's dynamite. He's a great player.
And he's not even 30 yet, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. He's the best NFL quarterback in history.
Wow.
Period. He is, Brady, you give him the longevity award. You know, just like LeBron gets the longevity award in the NBA, but I'm sorry, you're nothing in comparison to Michael Jordan. I think even at some point you're going to see Brady say it. Just say, "Hey, man, this guy's the best."
Yeah.
And I love Andy Reid. Andy Reid is a great coach, a great guy, and I like a team and right in the dead center middle of the country, off the East Coast and the West Coast, being able to do this. But I hate that the refs have done this.
Yeah.
They have made what should be a really great story, a team going for a three-peat. They've turned it into hatred. I mean, and a hatred that I haven't really seen a lot of in the NFL. You know,
even when the Patriots were winning so much.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, it's close, but this has now stepped into a New York Yankees hatred.
Yes, it has.
This is now stepped into a late '80s, early '90s Detroit Pistons hatred.
Well, they deserved it. They were bad people.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is they shouldn't be in the same class, but people fucking hate the Chiefs. Kev, I know you're in the middle of that because you're right down the road and you have a lot of family members that are listening and watching right now that are Chiefs fans, and you probably are in that bubble and don't see from the outside. Your team is fucking hated.
Oh no, I feel it. I mean, they're not my team; they're my in-laws' team, and they know it. Yeah.
I mean, I would hate to see something really tragic and bad happen to the Kansas City Chiefs. Of what the response in social media would be, it would be sad.
Yeah,
and it didn't have to be that way.
No.
And it's not their fault. And I think it would be great, if just kiddingly, that either Andy Reid or Mahomes, who have the cachet, who have the power, the carte blanche, that could just make a goof about it. Make a joke about it, something in a press conference or something like that, thanking the refs, just as a joke.
Uh-huh.
I think that would help them.
I don't know. Might help them with the fan base or with the casual fan. I don't think Goodell would be very happy about that.
I don't think too much would happen to them, and their State Farm money could pay for it.
Dude, I did not know this. You talk about Andy Reid, the head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs. You know how old he is?
Isn't he like 75?
No, that's what he looks. He's 66, dude.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's 11 years older than me.
That's crazy.
Isn't it?
Is that crazy?
I couldn't believe it when Trish told me that.
Kev, I noticed, speaking of which, I noticed when I was watching Billions, the movie or the TV show Billions on Showtime.
Uh-huh.
Paul Giamatti.
Love him.
He was in my grade.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. The last thing I want to do is, look at me, but I just have to for comparison. Here's Paul Giamatti. Here's me.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
And speaking of which, real quick, Kev, I had a neighbor that, him and I were talking, and he just flat out asked me, how old I am and everything like that. And I told him, and he was like shocked. He was like, what? Because he's like, 43, 44, and he just thought maybe I was around him.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And I told him, and he's like, how is this happening? And I'm just like, hey, look, I've had some tough shit happen, a lot of stress, a lot of bullshit, absorbed pain, disappointment, all that stuff. I think honestly, though, my secret is my mind frame, like internal, like inside of me, I've always been 18 or 19 years old.
Don't you feel that way?
Always. I just always have. And Kev, this probably more than anybody. Well, my exes do too. And that's one of the reasons why they're exes is I've always been 18 to 19-year-old.
Yeah.
I've always been just an idiot. And I think that has helped me. I really do.
So. Yeah.
I really do.
I mean, it's cliche, but a lot of people say it, you're only as old as you feel.
Yeah.
I completely agree with that.
I still laugh at the most inappropriate and raunchy shit.
Yeah.
I freaking love Bill Burr like once every couple of years, I'll go listen to Dice Clay because this shit's funny, man.
It is.
I've always been a kid. I've always been. I mean, it's like I was telling you at the end of the last podcast, man. I literally did. I got done trading. I went outside. I made a snow angel. I put horns in it right outside of my window so I could watch people's reaction just to see, like, literally 4 or 5 people stop and go, "Oh no, Dad, what's that?"
That's awesome.
You know, I'm a kid.
Yeah.
I have not grown up. I wish I have. I mean, you know, I wish that I would have been a little more mature, but you know, it's kept me young.
Be you.
Yeah, you know, yeah, I sometimes it's lonely because when you're my age and you're, you know, in a serious relationship with somebody, they don't want an 18, 19-year-old. You know?
Yeah, I know.
They don't want somebody that's going to walk into Target with them and make fart noises with their armpits. They just don't want that.
Oh, dude, speaking of farts, are you following this Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively situation where they're suing each other? She's suing him for sexual harassment and he's suing her for defamation of character. They did the movie It Ends With Us together.
What happened? What is going on? I've heard little bits and pieces here.
Yeah, well, that's basically what it is. She says that he sexually harassed her on set, and she did a whole article in like Vogue or something.
Well,
and
why doesn't she just call Deadpool? He's a badass.
yeah, exactly. Well, he's part of this lawsuit too because they say that he's been helping her with this situation. Anyway, one of her, she was in Gossip Girl, right? Blake Lively, Gossip Girl.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and one of the extras on set that you made 10 different appearances on the show said that she has the worst flatulence problem she's ever experienced. Blake Lively farts a lot.
that's funny.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I guess when you open yourself up to stuff like this, everything will come out about you.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Hey, Kev, I got to tell you about this. I think you'll get a kick out of it.
What do you got?
I ran into my ex-therapist while I was pumping gas at Timewise Shell Station over here.
How'd that go?
You know, that's so weird too. That's just so weird. And I noticed him. And I tried to, like, kind of, you know, because it's your therapist, your ex there. They know shit about you. They don't, you know. Yeah. But he noticed me.
Did he?
Yeah. And he said he quit being a therapist. He said he wants to find himself.
Holy smokes! You
And
sent him into retirement?
Well, that was my first thing. And then I started thinking, Kev, what the fuck? I mean, what damage could his blind leading the blind been costing me and my brain? You know?
Yes.
I was like, you know, he reassured me it wasn't me, you know, or anything like that. He just needed some time away, and, you know, he's gotten some assistance and from a support animal that's helping him out, you know.
Uh-huh.
Which, you know, he of course wanted to really talk. He just kept chattering even after I got done pumping gas. But his support animal, Kev, is a female Chihuahua.
Really?
I was like, doesn't that drive you nuts?
Yeah.
You know, that's the last dog you think would give you the support emotionally that you need.
Exactly.
That would kind of set you off, wouldn't it? And then he suggested, hey, you know, no, you should try it. You should get, you know, a support female Chihuahua. And I'm like, I tried Mexican women. It didn't work out for me.
Yes.
Yeah, it didn't, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I you know, and he remembered at that time when, you know, it didn't seem that a support animal was going to be a thing because, you know, I got a small apartment too.
Okay.
I mean, I'll wait till I move from here and then I'll probably get another beagle. But he remembered it from our sessions that I was an altar boy, and, you know, then he suggested, hey, you know, maybe you look into Jesus, you know.
Huh?
And I'm just like, Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I don't think the main character in a book I was forced to read is probably the best angle for me. I mean, it probably works for some people, but
Yep.
I go to church. I go to church. 2 or 3 times a month now. But I'm not the biggest believer. But I like the message.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, sometimes when I'm there, Kev, I get kind of imposter syndrome because I don't buy the word for word like everybody else seems to be buying.
Right.
So I feel like do they notice that I'm an imposter? Do they notice that, the original reason that I came in here because they had the free coffee and donut holes. And the reason I keep coming back is kind of like it. I kind of like the message and the vibe and everything like that. But, there's sometimes that, they're talking some scripture and stuff like that. I'm like, that has got to be fucking bullshit.
Yeah. And then the gate kind of closes ever so slowly.
Nothing personal, man. I mean, I just think I sometimes, Kevin, need to tell me if I'm out of line, and if you need to edit this out so people don't freak out, you do what you have to do. But I just think sometimes, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, all those guys, they're just like, hey man, we got to punch the story a little bit. Let's just throw that in there.
Yeah.
And Kev, not one of them in the room is going, God, yeah, but what if they really buy this shit, man?
Uh-huh.
What if they really, I mean, they're going to do some fact checking. I could just see that becoming a thing someday. Fact checking.
Now we know that's not real anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I thought that was interesting. Have you ever seen, you've had many therapists. Kevin Kline probably has one of the all-time records for therapists, number of therapists. Did you ever see him outside of, therapy?
No, I never have.
It is something that people should not experience. And I think that there should be some kind of code and agreement that if you do see me at the grocery store or pumping gas or something like that, you'll just look down and keep walking.
Yeah, exactly.
I just think that should be a thing.
It should be. You're right.
Unless your therapist, Kev, it's your therapist and she becomes my therapist, that'd be okay. Your therapist's hot.
Yeah. Laurel, yes, she's a sweetheart.
She's a smoke show, man. I mean, I can imagine, Kev. You don't even blink. She says, like, that'll be $1,200 for the hour, and you'll be like, here.
Yep. Let me book the next one.
Kind of like my dad with cigarettes at the Playboy Mansion.
Yeah.
Calv, the other day we had a domestic issue in the apartment complex.
Oh, I saw that you sent that to me, that you wanted to talk about this. I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah, the guy just walked by right now too.
I mean, I don't want to hear about a domestic issue, but
no,
this was a verbal one.
No, and let me tell you what happened. I'll give you, and you let me know if I handled this okay or not.
Okay.
I kind of want, looking back after it, I was like, should I have? Maybe I shouldn't have. But there's a lady next door, Kev. She locked her husband out, and he's like yelling and screaming obscenities 3 to 4 minutes straight. Wow. And I'm just like, oh man, we got kids around here, we got families. The language is getting way out of hand. I mean, this is getting louder, and it's so I took it into my own hands. I walked outside. Kev, I gave him a hard push in the chest, and I said, this shit stops right fucking now.
Nice.
Yeah, and he's like, he looked stunned. I mean, he looked a little bit stunned. He's seen me around. He's one of those, we do the upward head nod, and we're cool with each other and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
But this stops right here. And I told him, I said, look, dude, I said, go for a walk around the block. Take some deep breaths. Think about the stupid shit that you've been doing over the last 3 or 4 minutes. Doesn't seem like you've done anything really too hardcore that you can't come back from. But if you keep this up, you're going to go to jail. You're going to end up tonight in jail. one of these neighbors is going to call the cops, or your wife is going to call the cops, or whatever, and you're going to sit in jail, and you'll be like, so I'm just trying to help you right here.
Was he on a substance?
No. He was just
pissed.
Just pissed. And after he did the walk around or whatever, and and everything turned out okay. I went back in. I was just kind of watching outside to make sure nothing escalated into something where it would be viral later. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely know what you're saying. Yes.
But I was thinking about it. I didn't plan on like punching him or lighting him up or anything when I went out there, unless he like fought back and got squirrely. I mean, to me, and tell me if I'm wrong for doing this. I mean, to me, the push in the chest is kind of like a hard reset, like a reboot.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying?
I know.
Like when we were kids and we had a remote control and it didn't work and you're trying to change channels and you would just like, hit the remote a little bit and reboot it, reset it.
Sure.
And then, it woke it up and now it's okay. Now we're going to MTV. We got the Bangles on MTV, Susanna Hoffs, Walk Like an Egyptian. All right, here we go.
It happened because you went like that. Yeah. Just like that.
Yeah, that was it. And that's what it was. I mean, he didn't know what he was doing. He didn't know. I mean, he is in that altered state.
Yeah, you got to get the needle out of the groove or it's just going to keep going.
So I just, it's just another neighbor like saw it and he's like, dude, you got to be careful, man. I mean, he could have shot you, that you could have gotten killed there. And I'm like, I didn't even think about that. I just thought this guy needs a reset.
Mm-hmm.
Just a quick reset. And it was just a little push in the chest going, stop. And, it worked.
There you go.
But I probably should I not have done it?
I mean, hindsight's always going to be perfect vision, but at the time, it seemed like the right thing to do. So,
okay.
I mean, dude, if you're going to get shot for that, there are plenty of other lesser reasons that people are going to shoot us.
Okay.
I
was just trying to help out. I mean, the dude, bro, was going to jail.
Dude, I was playing air guitar in my car the other day, and a couple of gangbangers rode by me, and they started flashing signs at me because they thought I was doing something graphically against them. I'm like, I rolled my window down, and I'm like, listen.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
I had Tool up. I have a 14 speaker sound system in my car. I had Tool up on 12.
Why? What did they do after you showed them?
They drove off.
Oh, okay, it was cool.
Yeah,
that's funny. Yeah, you just never know.
You just don't.
Oh, and speaking of which, I hate to bring it back around. The Bangles, Walk Like an Egyptian.
Hmm?
What the fuck was that, man? I mean, how did they get away with that shit?
Yeah, right.
Kev, I have known probably about 4 or 5 Egyptians in my life, and none of them have ever walked like that.
None of them.
None of them.
Oh, now that you're bringing this up, I got to bring this up with you. Do you remember when we were in Birmingham? All right. And our producer, Doc Adams, said that we should take the Israelites and move them to Utah. Do you remember when he said that?
Yeah. We should take Israel and move it to Utah, and we wouldn't have the violence in the Middle East. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, and we got in massive trouble for that.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
Yeah, one of our biggest sponsors was Jewish and did not like that at all.
Did you hear what Trump said the other day?
What did he say?
I think everybody that's in Gaza should be let go to either Turkey or Jordan or Egypt. I think you guys need to take all of them in. Just move everybody. Move everybody to Jordan and Egypt.
As a matter of fact, I have an airlift that's in the air right now. The way I got it figured, it'll take 140 planes, 79 hours, and we'll have the job done. Round the clock.
I heard him say that, and I'm like, damn, we got in trouble for suggesting something like that.
I know. We did. If we did that, then, we're in trouble.
But then again, I'm like, man, maybe we're ahead of our time.
Kev, I got to ask you, man. I mean, let's do an update. For those unaware, Kevin Klein has had a dream of being a teacher.
Yeah.
He wants to teach middle school or high school. What do you want?
I'm kind of concentrating on middle school. Yeah.
Okay. And how's that going? What's the latest? I know the last time we chatted, you were gonna have a break bread or have a chat with a bunch of teachers to find out, check their heads on it. What he's gotten the certification and the background check. The FBI has concluded, yes, indeed. For those, I know a lot of people lost a bet there. But Kevin Kline is allowed to be near children.
Yeah, I did pass my background check. I was up at a school last Friday talking to the entire student body about accountability, and afterwards I went and helped out with the media class and got to talk to the principal. They want me to be a substitute over there. Talked to a couple of the teachers, and they were giving me some pointers and stuff. So, yeah, I mean, it looks like within the next couple of weeks I should be fully registered, because there's still some things I have to do.
Now let me ask, what does that look like? Is it you're on their call sheet? If somebody gets sick, you just go in and teach?
There was an actual news story here in Springfield yesterday on the news, Tim, and the typical on a daily basis, the typical school district has openings for 30 substitutes every single day.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, Springfield Public Schools is the largest public school system in the state of Missouri. They have upwards of 150 openings per day.
Yeah, Kev, that seems like a lot.
It is a lot.
And it's probably has gotten what, because I can't remember when we were kids a situation like that at all. Is this teachers just going, hey, you fucking bring these animals that you don't raise correctly here, and I need some mental health?
There is a lot of that. There is a lot of that.
And again, I can completely understand it as a guy who has been in the classroom for a full day in a fifth grade classroom 2 times. I can totally understand that a lot of these kids have no parenting, no discipline. There is nobody there to say no, and these teachers are at the tip of the spear on that shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it really inhibits their ability to teach when you have to deal with disruption in class. That 1 or 2 students who are disrupting in class, you have to give them your attention, and the other 28 that are in class, they're on their own.
Kev, I remember this. I remember this one glue eater. It was just disrupting the class, causing my ex, some problems. She was teaching the class, and I'm serious, man. I was so close to just, when the bell rang and we were going to go to the lunch, we still had a second half of the day. I was going to walk with him and go, hey, look, man, if you don't fucking get your shit in line, you're going to fucking pay a price.
Yeah.
I said, you ever heard of a code red?
Oh, code red. No way.
I told him, I said, I got a pillowcase and a bunch of bars of soap in my fucking truck, and I will come back in here.
Yeah, you will not like that.
I was about to do that. I couldn't, obviously I didn't want to, to look bad to my ex,
Right. Yeah.
But that's how bad it was. Anyway, go ahead, Kev. I'm sorry. I interrupted you.
Yeah, no. So they also say that right now it's kind of high because of the cold and flus that are going around and stuff like that. But no, I'm very excited about it. I'm very anxious to get started. I talked to so many different teachers who gave me all different kinds of points. But the main point was, you're a substitute teacher. You're not going to make a difference. You're just going to be there to babysit. So,
maybe you could be that Michelle Pfeiffer.
Well, they said that the way that because what I want to do, I want to mentor kids. I get a thrill out of mentoring kids and watching them grasp something that they didn't understand before. And they said the only way that you're going to do that as a substitute is if you're a regular substitute at one particular school. Then they'll develop a rapport with you, a familiarity with you, and then you can have that impact. So I'm pretty much just going to concentrate on one school here and, see what happens.
Now, I could see this, and maybe I'm off base here. I could see this turning into maybe even a regular type thing for you, where you would be able to, customize a Kevin Kline classroom.
Right.
And I'm just wondering what that would look like. I mean, Kev, would that thing have the Gwyneth Paltrow shrine in it?
No, it would not have the Gwyneth Paltrow shrine. I would I want to teach a media class because that's what I know the most. I suck at math, and so that would be out. But what I would like to do is I would like to put movie posters up around the room, like my mentor, my media class teacher did in high school. But he put like Pink Floyd, The Wall, and stuff like that. I would put like Seven, or The Usual Suspects, or movies that if the kids know what they are, they're going to be scared to cross old Mr. Kev.
What's in the box, Mr. Klein?
That's right. Your F.
Kev, I think maybe one of your death metal posters would do it.
That would be a good one too. Yep, Cannibal Corpse.
You put Guar on there. Can you imagine? For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, can you imagine you walk into a fourth grader or maybe an eighth or ninth grader's class, and you see this poster right here?
You're going to behave.
Those kids know that, hey, this is not a teacher we trifle with.
Not at all.
But, Kev won't go hard like the whole time. He won't be like hardcore. The exemplary students, I'd imagine, would get some of that classic custom Kevin Klein cheesecake.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. That's a great incentive.
Yeah, just for the exemplary students only.
For sure. Thank you for that. Yeah.
And when the other's mouth are watering or whatever, you could look over and go, hey, quit being a fuck up.
Yep. Quit eating your glue.
Quit eating your glue, and you can get a caramel chocolate chip cheesecake. Put the glue down.
Oh, that's funny. That's good.
Oh shit. I love it, man. That seems like a good thing for you, a good outlet for you.
Yeah, I want some structure in my life, and that will give me some.
There you go. You need some structure.
I do.
Whereas when I trade, Kev, I have like complete structure.
You are very regimented.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I have I was talking with my risk manager.
Uh-huh.
Did a little once every month or 2 months, the funding company, I have a chat with my risk manager, and he's like, hey, so you have a set of rules, don't you? And I was like, yeah, here they are. He goes, geez. He's like, this is unbelievable. I mean, I said, yeah, I've laid that out in case my kids ever want to get into trading. They've got dad's recipe right there.
What is a risk manager?
Just somebody say, since I'm using their funds, they first off, the risk management department, they have like all of the balances of all of their funded traders on their computer monitors, so they can see what's happening second by second by second to make sure nobody is out of line.
Okay.
And they'll check in with you when you maybe you've taken a couple of losses, too many, maximum daily loss limits, too many days in a row, which I don't do. I never hit my maximum daily loss limit.
Okay.
I take a small percentage of it. And then they'll also, if you have a huge winner going, they'll be like, ooh, hey man, you're up. That's really good. What's the plan? I mean, we want you to at least lock in half, or 2/3 of these profits, Yeah. What's your plan? So they'll call you.
Okay.
But every so often you'll have a chat with them, and they'll do a head check, see how you're doing. And I'm kind of new with them, so we have these more detailed on my mind frame and my trading system and my style. But yeah, my rules are very, very specific. The only thing that I have discretion on is because I've watched, and you were with me when I was watching for hours and hours this market move every single day on the morning show and everything like that. I know I have the discretion of, I know when to take a long or when to take a short,
okay.
When to sell. But after I decide, where I sell, how much I risk, what my stop is, what my first take profit area is, what my second take profit area is, that is all automatic and mechanical.
Wow.
Yeah. So I would anticipate, I think probably one of my kids will eventually, hey dad, this is really cool. And I think it would probably be Dallas.
Really? It's going to be Dal. Okay.
I think so. If I had to bet on it, I think Dallas will come to me, in a couple of years, 3, 4 years, and be like, "Hey, how do you do that shit? That looks pretty cool." Because all it is, Dallas is my big gamer. He loves video games,
Okay.
and all that I'm doing every morning is the biggest video game in the world.
I didn't know that. Interesting.
That's basically what it is. I'm playing a video game against the smartest minds, robots, algorithms in the world every single morning. And all I want is a little peace.
Yeah.
And so I see him doing that. And then when he does, if he does, or any of my kids do, I have the recipe just fucking laid out right there.
Do you trade in crypto?
I do not. It's not. I don't like it. I mean, there's a futures market for it now, but it's not regulated. It's Wild West. I don't like it. I first off, it doesn't have quite the liquidity I want. So, getting in and out. I mean, it's pretty liquid now, but I still don't like the spreads on it. It costs a lot of money to get in and to get out. And I don't like the price action. I don't like the price action. Whereas, because I'm a pullback trader, Cav.
Okay. I don't know what that is, but
I'm not. I watch on a very short time frame the ES, which is the S&P 500 E-mini market, their chart. I watch it on a small time frame, 2,000 ticks, which are about 30 to 40-second little bars.
Okay.
And once I decide, okay, we're long, we're going long right now. We're in a little bit of an uptrend. I take a pullback. I wait for it to come back a certain amount, then I'll get in with a stop and then look for it to test that amount for one take profit and then, go even further for a second take profit. So I wait for pullbacks.
Okay.
Whereas, Bitcoin and all those cryptos, those are breakouts. But the thing about breakouts is you can make a lot of money on them, but there are a lot of false breakouts. So you're getting death by 1,000 paper cuts.
Oh, okay.
So
that wouldn't be fun.
It's like you get set, and I don't like 7, 8 losers in a row before I get my big winner.
Yeah.
I just don't like that. I like being, I'm cool with, hey, half the time I win, half the time I lose, or 60% of the time I win, 40% of the time I lose. My average winning rate is about 1.2 to 1. So you do the math right there. I can carve out a living.
Can you spend cryptocurrency?
Yeah.
Who takes it?
There's a lot of vendors that take it.
Really?
And Kev, it could be immediately converted into cash anyway.
Oh, it can. Okay.
Immediately.
All right.
So yeah, crypto is easy. You have a Coinbase wallet or whatever. I mean, you can pay things through that wallet like direct. But any like retail establishment or something like that, even groceries or whatever, where they don't take Bitcoin, you can convert it to cash immediately.
I see. Okay.
So yeah, it's mainstream. It's big time. It's just not liquid enough for me. I don't like the spreads. I don't like the price action. So I stay away from it.
Understood.
So, it's kind of like, Kev, you for thousands and thousands and thousands of hours, I've watched this one market. I know her. I like the way she moves. She's good to me. Don't get me wrong, crypto and NASDAQ. I mean, they're like that hot Latina chick, where it's like, hey, I can really have a lot of fun with this and really get some benefit from that. But, I don't like the way it moves. It doesn't give a fuck about my levels, my moving averages, doesn't care about my stop, doesn't give a fuck. And it's just going to like shake them around or whatever. So I just have the girl next door, nice little 7.5 in my E-mini market there, my S&P 500. And I know the way she moves. I know what to do when she does this. I do that. She's not going to shake me out or violate my levels or anything like that. She's just going to be good and kind to Timmy T.
Okay. That I understand that.
Yeah. I mean, your NASDAQ and your cryptos, those are Latina chicks. Yeah, they're fun, but they can fuck you up.
He knows.
I know. Just your next girl next door, sweetheart. That's the E-mini 500.
Oh, by the way, you're talking about girls again. I read this morning, and man, Timmy, if you haven't made your move yet, you need to.
Alba?
Yeah, you know what? You know why she got out of that marriage?
Why?
No sex.
What?
That's what I read this morning. Yep.
He didn't want to have sex with Jessica Alba?
Bingo. There you go.
Oh my God. When did Cash Warren go gay?
That is what I read this morning from quote, a inside anonymous source said that she had grown fed up with the lack of romance and sex in the marriage.
Oh my God.
There you go, Timmy.
Kev, that woman could walk into a morgue and get volunteers for sex. There are people that will raise themselves from the dead. I mean, Kev, I hate to give you work, but here, this is Jessica Alba. Really?
There you go.
Kev, I could be like on my deathbed, bedpan and ready to die. And if there's the opportunities there, I would suddenly just stand up. Now, of course, the bedpan would be a turnoff to Miss Alba.
I was getting ready to say, well, boy, you got game if you can get through a bedpan, dude.
Tim, I think you're hot, but the shit in the pan is not good. All right, Kevin Klein, that has been a fun show.
Goes by fast, man.
Goes by really, really quick. Again, we only covered about 20% of what we needed to cover, but that's okay. There's always next week. Hey, look, do us a favor, like, follow, download, subscribe. We need you all to download these episodes. I love it that the dramatic majority of you'll press play on your podcast platform, but please just download it. Just press that download button. That really, really helps our numbers and puts us in a good position. We got merchandise available on the Tuttle and Klein Facebook page. We got Tuttle and Klein on Instagram and Tuttle and Klein on TikTok. So you can check out our stuff on a day-to-day basis. Kev?
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, we're all good, man. We're all good. Enjoy the rest of your week.
You got it, my brother. Peace out.
That's it for this episode of the Tuttle and Klein Show. See you this Wednesday for an all-new episode. And thanks for listening to the Tuttle and Klein Show. Yo. All right, take the yo out.